It is really a different moment in time where we are moving away from, we have been forced to stop thinking we can do everything alone. In fact, we are now facing the reality that it is never best to do it alone. But in fact, that compassion and collaboration and really cooperating with others will get to the best solutions.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the KTS Success Factor podcast for women, where we talk about challenges senior female leaders face in being happy and successful at work. I'm your host, Dr. Sarah E. Brown. My guest today is Dr. Andrea Goeglein. She altered the truth of her age and got a job at a Wall Street brokerage firm at age 14. And by 24, she opened her first operating business, a Haagen-Dazs ice cream store in Reno, Nevada. Many businesses and a PhD in organizational psychology later, she felt she had experienced enough stress and anxiety to be an expert. Today, she is a success catalyst and is known as Dr. Success. Andrea is the founder, curator, and author of the Don't Die self-development collection of books. Her latest book is Don't Die, Waiting to be Brave. As an expert in applied positive psychology, she is your success Sherpa, guiding you as you climb the mountain of success. Welcome, Andrea. I'm delighted to have you.
Sarah, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
So as you know, this podcast is geared primarily towards senior executive females. So what is the biggest challenge you help them face in business today, and what might be some symptoms of that problem?
You know, it's very interesting because the word today is what stuck out in that sentence for me, because this moment in time has given us the most unique perspective of what is really important. So had we had this conversation 8 or 9 months ago, I would have very easily said prioritizing. Female executives have been challenged throughout the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years as we've continued to move up the corporate ranks and more opportunities have opened up with how do I prioritize the various communities of concern in my life, my family, my personal health, my employees. How do I do that? Today, I will say that that is on steroids, that prioritizing is still the number one, but the view to which they look at it has changed very distinctly. And the most succinct way that I can give it to you is that they are looking through the lens of life and business priorities through the 3 C's. Compassion, collaboration, and cooperation.
Very interesting. And how do you see that manifesting?
Well, as people who raise and want to be successful, and honestly, in my work, it goes across male, female, it really doesn't matter. What we have traditionally done and what our traditional system had taught us to do was in fact be the best problem solver on the face of the earth. And we internalize that as meaning I have to know the answers. I have to formulate the solutions by myself so that I look like the leader. And through the 80s and 90s, we began to put cracks in that myth. I want you to know right now we've been given just dynamite. It has blown up that we realize that the problems were so great. How do you handle a medical emergency, a global pandemic, when in fact you've got your own family to worry about and the business that you're running or the organizations that you're involved in at all different levels? It is really a different moment in time where we are moving away from, we have been forced to stop thinking we can do everything alone. In fact, we are now facing the reality that it is never best to do it alone, but in fact, that compassion and collaboration and really cooperating with others will get to the best solutions.
So does that feed into my next question about what the biggest mistakes your clients make before working with you?
Well, I'll give it to you in a short way. They wait too long. We have this tendency of waiting till the pain is so great. And there is a spiritual advisor who uses a term that I love, that pain pushes until the vision pulls. Well, now we aren't waiting as long. And that doesn't mean that we're reaching out for the type of help that I do with my clients necessarily, because we have so many immediate concerns. But we are definitely looking to others for advice and seeing what's working in their environments and their communities of concern.
So is it in essence trying to handle it yourself and not reaching out? Is that
correct?
Okay.
And again, in that category, as you raise up the ranks of leadership, no matter what area of your life, if you're the parent of the family, all of a sudden you think you're supposed to know what's going to happen. Well, at every level of our life, we wait a bit too long.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Yeah.
So what's the number one free and actionable tip you can give my audience today to begin to, if not to address the challenge, to at least recognize it?
And I don't mean to make this sound as though there's only a solution to something, but I will tell you that the glory of positive psychology, and it was the greatest gift. I mean, I already had, quote unquote, finished my education when I did my training with Marty Seligman in positive psychology and authentic happiness coaching. What that gave me was the knowledge that a continual focus on your top 5 strengths, which anyone can go to my site and go to the VIA tab and find out what their top strengths are. You can go to the University of Penn site. I can give you a whole list of places where, for free, you can get your top 5 strengths. And using them throughout the day, being aware, which is the thing I always focus on, and the newest research is really sitting that awareness is the chief thing we should be focusing on. Mm-hmm. The awareness of your strengths and whether or not you are using them or are not will determine your resilience, whether or not you can flourish through difficult situations. They are miraculous.
So I'm sure this is the valuable free resource that I would ask you about next. So tell my readers where they can find that.
Okay, so I will give you the link at servingsuccess.com is my site. You just go under the coaching and it's the VIA survey. Another resource is the University of Penn Authentic Happiness. I use the VIA Institute, which is associated with the University of Pennsylvania. So that's the free resource. You can get it on my website and it becomes gold.
Great. So Andrea, what is one question that I should have asked you that will help our audience take action to address this challenge? And then would you please answer the question?
Sure thing. When I read your question, I was really intrigued with that. The one of anything is not really what I work in, but then it sat. And what came to me was, what if I believed that this moment in time was the greatest opportunity of a lifetime to transform how we think, how we participate, the careers we develop, the businesses? What if that was what I believed at this moment? And I will tell you that it was that you gave me the gift in that question. Like, what did I want to be asked? And what I came away with was examining, and this is what I would ask our listeners to do today. At this moment in time, take a real deep breath and use the pause that we've been given, whether we wanted it or not, to examine in all the communities of concern. What do I believe? What do I hope for the future? Who and what do I love? And then make those answers the thing that guides you day to day.
What great questions.
Thank you.
What great questions to ponder, and we do have, this is the perfect time to do it.
Yes.
Andrea, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. It is always a pleasure. It gives me as much because it makes me do the internal work that I hope that everyone will do.
Thanks for listening to the KTS Success Factor podcast for women. If you like what you are hearing, please go to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave a review. And if you would like more information on how we can help women in your organization to thrive, then go to www.sarahebrown.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, read show notes and learn more about our podcast guests, read my blog, browse through the books, or contact us for a chat. Goodbye for now.